founder of TLC, The Life Changer. He's a certified life coach. He's a proud father and husband. And he's an expert in emotional and mental wellness. So I'm introducing him tonight with a friendly harbor.
Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it, guys. I want to thank everyone here tonight for coming out. I definitely want to thank Dr. Ball, Stephanie, and the board of directors, as well as Mr. George, if that's him, for allowing me to come back and give back to the community. And when I say give back, I'll go into a little bit of a detailed story about myself, my testimony, who I am, and how I got to this place. I do want to start by at least letting you know and opening and letting you know that I am, as Stephanie said, a certified life coach as well as a subject matter expert. Subject matter expert just in mental and emotional wellness, but there's something that came with that. That subject matter was a life experience. Things that I've gone through that have led me up to continue maintaining my recovery. Recovery is just a word that means you have overcame or overcoming. But it doesn't stop there. You have to maintain it. And things have been successful in my life from the facility of the Pueblo Mental Health Facility to at home and allow me to maintenance. And I hope the things that I give you, the tools, the techniques, actually skill sets that we already kind of know, but how it applies when you go home and how you utilize it in your environment, in your church settings, with your family, your friends, and even to come back and give back to staff, patients, and support members. Now, this information, as I mentioned, doesn't just apply to patients or recovering patients or people that have, a mental illness. It applies to everyone. It can apply in your everyday life. I'll give you 5 quick topics, then I'm going to open it up to Q&As, question and answering, testimonies. Dr. Ball or whoever wants to share, feel free. It's a chance for us to kind of build dialogue and talk about where we are in our own process or what's been helpful or what you've heard a little bit tonight that can kind of help you with your walk and to teach others, right? All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is shame. When I went back to the community, I told you that I couldn't breathe, I couldn't talk. Right? So I'm doing that, and there's a little bit of shame with that. There was a lot of shame, actually. There was a lot of shame. And I was embarrassed. I was scared. I was fearful. Shame brought on a lot. But the one thing I want to tell you about shame takes away your courage to deal with reality. Think about that. I asked you, whatever it may be, and even my wife, she had that courage. So I want to ask you, what and how are you going to react to your condition, or your wife's condition, or your family member's condition, or whoever might be affected or afflicted by a physical ailment or whatever it may be? What is it about you that and how are you going to react when it comes to shame, or it comes to being discouraged in that arena? Are you going to run and hide, or are you going to get the courage? So I'm telling you tonight, for me, I kept the courage, and that allowed me to go forward in a lot of different areas. Support. Support is very, very important, right? You may go on your behalf and give you what you need, but the support first starts with yourself. If you don't support yourself and what you're doing in your endeavors, if you don't tell yourself that I can make it, if you don't tell yourself you can overcome, how do you expect anyone else? How are you going to expect anyone else to give you that same support or encouragement? Support starts with you, right? I talked about the physical ailment that I had. I talked about the situation where I can't breathe. I talked about what I did. But when I was overcoming it, there's physical things you need to do when you get out in the community and you're on your path to maintenance and recovery. You have to maintenance your body. You have to maintain your body. You have to take care of yourself. You have to eat the right foods. You have to you make sure you replenish yourself with water, right? You have to try to exercise. Stay active in your life. It was hard because there was times I didn't even want to get out of bed. Right? Mentality is basically your mindset. And your mindset is, from my mentality, what I say when I wake up every day, you are who you say you are. Tools and techniques that were very successful for me that I learned might work for you, may not work for you. Find out, remember, challenge yourself to go to a library, go wherever you can. I found that worked for me is I was a goal setter. All right, the next thing I do is you have to have a gratitude list. Tell yourself something good about yourself every day. Write it down. Very important. Very important. Because if nobody's going to always, you can't wake up and hear the right thing from everybody. So why don't you tell yourself that? Right? You might go all day waiting to hear a good word from Dr. Ball to tell you something nice about you. And you go home at the end of the day and she never says anything to you. She didn't spend any time with you. And then you go home and you say, well, what? She never said anything to me. Don't leave it up to others to give you and build you the gratitude in your life. The thing is a journal, right? Journals are for good or bad situations. If you want to write something down and you want to log it, we know this, we've learned it, date it, record it, but make sure you mention the bad stuff. There's something about writing down the things in your life that allows you to, I guess, either move past it or benefit from it. When you write down something that is in your journal, you can go back and use it as a resource. Use it as a resource not to just see what happened, but where you came from, where you were, or what happened that day. Or if you're having a bad time that day, go back to your journal and find something good that allows you to say, oh, there are good things in my life, right? You're building confidence. The journal allows you to do that. The other thing I do is you use a support team. I talked about the inner circle, knowing who you have around you, very important. And then lastly, I want you guys to find your purpose. I think purpose will help determine your success in life. A lot of people do things for the right reasons, and a lot of people do things for the wrong reasons. When you have a purpose and a purpose in your life, you can't lose, you can't fail, you will succeed. So your purpose will determine your outcome, right? So I want each and every one of you tonight to go home and think about a purpose for what you're doing.